So what's going on, guys? I am BlackOpsAmazing. Welcome yourselves back to another zombies video on the channel, taking your questions from the comment section below and answering them to do with the zombie storyline and Easter eggs. If you enjoyed today's video, as always, you know what to do. Drop a like rate, and I can't thank you guys enough for the support that you give me on this channel, continuing to watch zombies videos even though there's no new content out right now and we're waiting until Black Ops 4. I try my very best to put videos out for you guys, not every day, but I do try my best to find questions that I haven't answered already and make sure that you guys at least have a zombies video to watch every other day or so. So drop a like rating throughout the video if you enjoy it. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to. Make sure you are subscribed. And of course, let's get into it. Here we go. So the first question of today from Elod Crew says, who made Element 115? And also, where do the zombies go when you have zombie blood? So answering the first one about 115, well, I don't think anyone made it. We know it's existed since the beginning of time, when there was only the Ether, the Keepers, Dr. Monty and the Shadow Man that existed. Element 115, this meteor, I believe existed at the same time in outer space. Just meteors of 115 floating around in space. And then, as we know, as time went by and the Apothecans came into existence and different planets then began to exist like Earth, the Apothecans, knowing that Earth had a gateway to Gotha since they wanted to get there, it was them who sent the meteors of 115 from space to Earth. They believed that one day in which this actually happened, humanity would use Element 115 to wage war against themselves, opening a rift that would allow the Apothecans to escape the Dark Ether. And so that's really how 115 came to be. The Apothecans, as we can see in the Revelations intro, they hold the meteors of 115 in their mouth and then like spit it through a rift, and then it comes out on the other end on planet Earth. And then, like I just said, the people on Earth began messing with 115, used it to wage war against one another, which allowed the Apothecans back down to Earth. And then your second question was, where do the zombies go when you have zombie blood? So when you drink zombie blood, you actually turn into a zombie. You look like a zombie for a short amount of time. You become one of them, and so, because of that, they think you're a zombie, so they won't attack you. And so they'll just wander about until you turn back into your normal self. I'm not exactly sure who created the zombie blood. Was it Group 935, or is this something that was created by Dr. Monty and then he gives it to us in the form of a perk drop, a power up to help us out? That I'm not really sure, but like I said, to answer your question, when you take the blood, the zombies will just wander about for a short amount of time because they think you're a zombie. They don't know where the characters that they were trying to kill have gone. The next question from Jason Corsi says, BOA, what does Nikolai mean when he says he must remember his mission? The enemy war machine must be destroyed. Is he talking about Nazi Germany, Group 935, or the Apothecans? Well, whenever one of our characters mention the enemy war machine, they're actually referring to the giant robots. Characters like Nikolai and Dempsey will say quotes regarding the enemy war machine. Nikolai will say it must be destroyed. If you actually play Duraz and Draka, Dempsey will say they've taken the enemy war machine to the castle, but it got an RPG to the face. And clearly, what he's talking about is the giant robot. They took one of them as transportation to the castle, and then of course, as you could see by the cutscene, it was blown up. So the enemy war machine refers to the German giant robots. Nikolai is saying that they must be destroyed. The next question from Mr. Gale says, why are there Escape the Tomb posters everywhere in BO3 and Mob of the Dead? So yes, the first time we saw this was in Mob of the Dead. We had a poster, it was Escape from the Tomb, and it looks like it's for a play or a movie. You can see we have the cast down the bottom there. We also have a dog, which looks very similar to the Cerberus heads that we get in Mob of the Dead. But when we first saw this in Mob, we thought it was quite strange because why would there be posters in a prison? So we thought that maybe this is a reference to one of our future zombies maps. As we know now, we haven't had a map that's like this. We haven't had one called Escape from the Tomb or something that seems to reference this. We have a castle in the background of this poster, which you could say maybe was a hint towards Duraz and Draka. The dog on the wall could have also been a small reference to the dragons that we have on the wall in that map. Also, Escape from the Tomb. In Duraz and Draka, we do have a tomb with the dead knight laying on the table and also where you can acquire the bow from. So come to think about it, on this poster there are a few things that are similar to what we see in Duraz and Draka, but I don't know, I don't really think it was a reference to that map. We also see this poster later on in Shadows of Evil. Not only this, but we can see other posters as well. As you can see, this one is The Missing City. It's another play or a film. We've got the cast on the bottom there. We've got the Shadows of Evil City with the tentacles at being pulled up by the apothecans, it seems. And it says the showing dates for these films were November the 6th, and that was also the release date for Black Ops 3, so that's a cool Easter egg. But yes, we also saw these posters in Shadows of Evil. I guess they were supposed to be films playing on screen in the city. But then again, Mob of the Dead takes place on December 31st, 1933. Shadows of Evil takes place April 25th, 1944. So 4 months later. I mean, I guess a film or a play could be shown for 4 months. Then again, it also seems like they're different dimensions. So there's a lot of really strange things that come into play here when you try and maybe make sense of it. But some of you may be asking, well, Eli, we also see these posters in Samantha's bedroom. What does that mean? Well, we know that a lot of things in Samantha's room are references to things that we've actually seen throughout Zombies. In her room, we have the mystery box, we have chalk drawings on the wall, the Zombies characters as toys, as I just said, the posters of Escape the Tomb, there's a staff under her bed. We know that Dr. Monty gave Samantha toys. We can also guess he gave her these other references that we have in Zombies just to play with, this toy staff, this poster, and other things like that. So whenever you see references to Zombies in Samantha's room, I don't think that means anything, it's just things that Monty has given to her. But anyway, getting back to your question, why are there Escape the Tomb posters everywhere in BO3 and Mob? Well, honestly, I don't really know. As I said, in Mob, we thought that maybe it was a reference to a future map. The closest one I can think of is Dries and Draka, but it doesn't really seem that relatable. Were they just there for decoration? Did they actually mean something? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. The next question from SP Bro says, why didn't Richtofen use the summoning key to kill zombies? Well, that's a good question. It's actually something I've always wondered, but we don't really know the full potential of the summoning key. It's kind of strange because we are told that it's the most powerful artifact in any universe, yet we ever really get to see it come into action. The only time we ever see it do anything is in Shadows of Evil, where we killed the characters on the tables and collect their souls inside of the key. And then again in Revelations, when the Shadow Man escapes from the key and uses it to allow the apothecans to enter Earth. Apart from that, we don't really see it, and you would think if it's the most powerful artifact in any universe, that it would do a lot more. We know that it can collect souls, we know that it can open a gateway from the ether to Earth, but that's all. Surely this powerful artifact can do a lot more. If it can kill people and collect their souls, then surely Richtofen could have used it to kill the zombies. He could have used it on his journey and maybe even used it to kill the Shadow Man. I don't know, is there a problem? Maybe Richtofen doesn't have the power to use it? That doesn't seem to be the case since the Shadows of Evil crew were able to use it. So why? I don't know, that to me just seems really weird. Why Richtofen couldn't use it when he had it in his hands to kill the zombies. I don't know, it's possible that the summoning key can do a lot more that we don't know of. Maybe it can make you fly, I mean, we have no idea. But yeah, I've always thought that one was a little bit weird. Mads Everoff says, in Shadows of Evil, if the Keepers are trying to prevent you from doing what the Shadow Man tells you, aren't they on the good side? Well, yes, even though in Shadows of Evil the Keepers are good, as you say, they are trying to kill us. They're trying to prevent us. You seem to be a little bit confused. Even though they are good, the reason they are trying to kill the Shadows of Evil characters is because we are helping out the Shadow Man. Obviously the Shadow Man's bad, he is tricking our characters into getting and giving the summoning key to him, and so since the Keepers don't actually speak English and can't tell the Shadows of Evil characters that he's trying to trick you, the only way they can stop them from giving it to him is by killing them. The Keepers in Shadows of Evil don't have any other choice. If they don't attempt to kill the Shadows of Evil characters and stop them from giving the summoning key to the Shadow Man, then eventually he's going to get his hands on it and cause mass destruction, and even kill the Shadows of Evil crew, which happens when the apothecans destroy their dimension. But yes, like you said, even though the Keepers are good in Shadows of Evil, they are trying to kill the characters, and that's only because they have no other way of stopping them from giving the key to the Shadow Man. Obviously, in the end, they eventually realize that actually it's the Shadow Man who's bad and it's the Keepers who are good, so they kill the Shadow Man and trap him inside of the key, and then as we know, they are about to give the key over to the Keepers, but Richtofen comes out of the rift, steals it, and then goes. So there we go, hopefully that helps. I know a lot of people actually get confused about that. Anyway guys, there we go, that is all I have for you for today's video. As always, hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, you know what to do, drop a like rating whenever you feel like it. Of course you don't have to if you don't want to. Thank you guys so much for the support on the channel, it really does mean a lot to me. Make sure you are subscribed, leave your comments down below, and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.